Well, hello guys, it's Boardman here. I am so glad to see you for joining me on this new video. I'd like to thank you for supporting my channel and keep my channel growing and leaving comments down below. I really appreciate you guys. But for some personal reasons, I was quite busy for college studies at the moment. Sometimes I get a bit stressed out and a bit frustrated, but I always do my best if I can. Thank you for your patience. First of all, I'll be doing another read it out video for you guys. I'll be reading another book by a second. Okay, so I'll show I've got Disney Fairies, TinkerBell and the Great Fairy Rescue. It was published by Disney World Reading. This is inspired by the character of TinkerBell by James M. Barrie. Also based on upon the Peter Pan franchise, as well as. Okay, so shall I begin with this book to you? I'll show you these pictures. I'll read by words as well as. Okay, let's begin. Tinkerbell and her fairy friends from Pixie Hollow were on their way to bring summer to the mainland, and Tink couldn't wait to get there. Unlike the other seasons, summer needed the fairies' constant attention, which meant that Tink was going to be on the mainland for months instead of days. Tinkerbell was so excited. She had heard that the fairy camp where they'd be staying with was an amazing place. Tink couldn't wait to stop tinkering. How's the beeliner working? She asked the animal fairies. Like the dream, Tink. Thanks, they replied. Tinkerbell couldn't find anything that needed to be fixed, so she decided to look for lost things. Fidia couldn't believe that Tink wanted to get closer to the humans. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the camp, startling Fawn, who splattered paint over the wing of a butterfly she was painting. The other fairies hid under leaves or between flowers. Curious about the noise, Tinkerbell flew up to get the better view and spotted a car driving down the winding road. Fascinated, she chased after it. Tinkerbell followed the car until it stopped at the country house. She hid and watched as the little girl and their cat, Mr. Twitches. Could we have a tea party in the meadow? Lizzy pleaded as her father unloaded the suitcases. Not today, said Dr. Griffiths. I have quite a bit of work to do. Perhaps tomorrow. Tink waited until the humans were in the house, then flew down to examine the car. When Ferdia found her, Tinkerbell was studying the engine. This is amazing. Tink think those wheels back there move because this chain thing rotates. You shouldn't be this close to the human house. Fidia interrupted, but Tinkerbell had already darted inside the engine. She found an interesting looking lever and turned it over and over again. Outside the car, each turn of the lever showered Fidia with water. Just then, Lizzy and her father came back to unload the car. Lizzy spotted a butterfly, the one that had been splattered with paint. That the wings have two totally different patterns, Dr. Griffiths observed. Well, I guess that's just the way the fairies decided to paint it, Lizzy said. Lizzy, fairies are not real, Dr. Griffiths replied sternly. But Lizzy really believed in fairies, so much so that she had even had a little house for them to live in. TinkerBell and Fidia were ready to go back to the fairy camp, but Fidia couldn't fly because her wings were still wet. Tink offered to walk with her. Then Tink spotted a trial of buttons. Well, these will be perfect for a new wagon prototype. Have been working on, she said. Then she realized that the buttons led right to Lizzy's fairy house. TinkerBell were not supposed to go near human houses, said Fidia. Come on, Fidia, said Tink. It's perfectly safe. Fidia wanted to teach Tink a lesson. She whipped up the gust of wind, which slammed the house door shut. Tink didn't mind. She was having fun exploring the miniature house's gadgets. Suddenly, Fidia saw the human approaching. She pulled on the door to let Tink out, but it was jammed shut. Fidia hid, watching fearfully as Lizzy peered into the house. Fairy? Lizzy whispered in amazement. She picked up the fairy house with TinkerBell inside and ran home. Lizzy put Tink in a cage to keep her safe from Mr. Twitchers. Fidia had to free Tink, but she knew she couldn't do it alone. She flew back to the camp as fast as he could, but a sudden rainstorm slowed her down. Fidia arrived back at the camp and told the other fairies what had happened. They couldn't fly to Tink's rescue because the storm was still raging, so Clunk and Bobble built the boat to get them there. But on the way, the boat ran aground at the foot of a waterfall, and the fairies had to travel the rest of the way on foot. What a journey! Back at the country house, Lizzy let TinkerBell out of a cage. TinkerBell was amazed by Lizzy's fairy collection, but the little girl had fairy facts or what? 1. Tink tried to tell Lizzy, but all Lizzy heard was a jingling sound. So, that's how fairies speak, she exclaimed. TinkerBell wanted to tell Lizzy all about fairy life, so Lizzy asked the questions and Tink acted out her answers. Lizzy decided to put all her fairy research down in the journal her father had given her. Soon, the journal was filled with drawings of Tink's fairy friends and descriptions of their special talents. When Lizzy's fairy-filled journal was complete, it was time for Tink to go and find her friends. TinkerBell was sad about leaving Lizzy, but excited to go home. Tink was as Lizzy tried to show her father a journal they had made, but Dr. Griffiths was too busy to look at her book. I have to find some way to deal with these leaks before they destroy my work, he exclaimed. Tink felt sad for her new friend. She decided to stay a while longer and help. Tink had a plan. If she could help Dr. Griffiths with her house repairs, he would have more time to spend with Lizzy. Tink rummaged through the attic until she had all the parts she needed. In no time, she rigged up the system to take the water from the leaks and funnel it all back outside again. As Tink flew back to Lizzy's room, she passed by Dr. Griffith's study. She spotted the butterfly trapped in the jar. TinkerBell wanted to help the butterfly, so she opened the jar and set it free. Meanwhile, the other fairies were continuing their mission to find Tink. Friday finally spotted the muddy road that led to Lizzy's house. Friday helped her friends across, but then got stuck in the mud herself. Suddenly, they saw the headlights of a vehicle coming towards them. Pull, pull, cried Rosetear desperately, but Friday was stuck fast in the mud. Iridescent knew what she had to do. She bounced the light headlamp beams back toward the driver, who instantly slammed on his brakes. Moments later, the driver got out of his car. Thorn noticed the driver's shoelace was untied. Grab this, she told the other fairies. They are held onto the shoelace as the driver turned to get back in his car. They were pulled out of the mud. In the morning, Dr. Griffiths discovered that leaks seemed to have mended themselves, but also noticed that the butterfly was gone, and sent Lizzy to her room to cheer her up. Tink showered Lizzy with pixie dust. It was time for some fine lessons. Downstairs, the fairy rescue team had finally arrived. They had to get to Tink, but Mr. Tritches had other ideas. The other fairies fought the cat off, while Friday bounded upstairs. Meanwhile, Mr. Griffiths stormed into Lizzy's room. "What's going on in here?" he demanded. "I was flying. My fairy showed me how," explained Lizzy, but Dr. Griffiths did not believe her. TinkerBell had enough. She flew straight into the face of Mr. Griffiths. Dr. Griffiths tried to catch TinkerBell in the jar, but poor Friday, trying to help Tink, was the one who ended up captured. Dr. Griffiths couldn't wait to show his colleagues a fairy. He drove off to the city with Friday. How could the fairies save their friend? It was still raining, so they couldn't fly. Then Tink had an idea. She sprinkled pixie dust over Lizzy. "All aboard!" cried TinkerBell, as the fairies climbed into Lizzy's pockets. Soon they captured with a car. Dr. Griffiths saw Lizzy, and she was flying. At last, Dr. Griffiths understood some things were not meant to be seen, just believed. He set Friday free. The next day, father and daughter finally had their tea party in the meadow, and it was a huge success. Tink, you found something to fix, after all, said Terence, as the fairies saw how happy Lizzy was. I guess I did, Tink replied with a smile. It's the end. So I hope you enjoyed this story about Disney Fairies, TinkerBell and the Great Fairy Rescue. It's about the girl named Lizzy and her father named Dr. Griffiths. He lives in the country house near the meadow. Since the TinkerBell was being taken hostage by the girl named Lizzy. So if you enjoyed this video, please write your comments down below, or feel free to leave a request for upcoming read out video for you guys. Please do, it would be really brilliant. So last year it was such an amazing experience we celebrated 100 years of Disney since 1923. Okay, so that's it for all, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Always remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification, and don't miss out my video contents. That's really important. Also, you can look at my social links such as Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook and TikTok. And you can support my additional contents and exclusive story highlights. You can support me now, but we really appreciate also. Okay guys, so that's it for all, and I'll see you on the next video, so please stay tuned and thank you very much.